Okay, good morning. This is my first Moho Monday for the year. Morning. Let me just adjust my volume and see if anybody's going to jump on to craft with me this morning. Yes, I want to wish everybody a happy new year. I took some time off from doing anything live over the holidays or making YouTube videos. And so I've had a bit of a break and now I'm going to be back at it. And it's in perfect timing because our biggest, most favorite sale of the year starts January 5th. It's called SaleABration. And with SaleABration, we have a new mini catalog. Right now I can only show you the cover. So this is the new mini catalog. This runs from January to June. And there is a spectacular selection of new products in here. One of which is this gold flaked foil, which is so much fun to play with. So I'll be doing some videos on how to use this gold flakes. And I've got lots of projects in store for you. Now, with the new mini catalog every year, they also have a SaleABration. And what that is that there's a separate little brochure called SaleABration. And this does not run parallel with the catalog until June. It only runs for 2 months, from the 5th of January when this catalog goes live until the end of February, because Stampin' Up! Is going to do 2 SaleABrations in a year rather than just the one. Normally it's for 3 months. It's from January to the end of the March, but this year it's for 2 months, January and February, and then I believe in August they will do another SaleABration for another catalog that's coming out. So that's pretty exciting. It's 2 chances to win free products. Now again, I can't really show you what's going on in this little brochure right now, but in today's card I'm going to be using 2 free products that you can earn. Now, how do you earn this? Pretty simple. You purchase in quantities of $60. So $60 will give you 1 item. If you place an order for $120, there are also some combinations of items for $120. So for every $60 you spend, you get 1 free item that's valued at $60. And then if you place multiples of that and reach 120, then you can select a combination of things. So it could be, for example, a stamp set and a pack of paper. Okay, so I will be sending out a newsletter today to let you know what that is all about. So if you'd like to get onto my newsletter subscription, then you can please go to my new website, which is ericaedney.com, and a newsletter box will pop up for you, and then you can subscribe to my newsletter. So let's get started. I don't see anybody joining right now, but I'm going to continue and then we'll post this to YouTube as well. So you can watch it later, or you can watch it here on Facebook in a replay. Now I did want to start off by, I didn't do the draw for November. So what happens is that if you follow me on Facebook and you create any of the projects that I present and you post a photo, then your name is entered into a draw. And at the end of the month, I pick a name, and then you can earn, or I'll just send you a free little gift. So the gift I have for November was a pack of holiday rhinestones, basic jewels. This is what they look like. They're really sparkly, and there's lots of lovely colors in there. And so I'm going to send this out to the lucky winner. Now, I had a lot of people create projects, and I was delighted by that. So for all these card sketches, people actually made the card sketch using whatever products they had and submitted a picture. So I have a bowl full. Look at all the names in here, a bowl full of names in here. Okay, so I'm going to pull a name. Let's pull this name and see who the lucky winner is. Some people had multiple entries, so your name is in here twice or 3 times, depending on how many cards you did. So I'm just putting my head out of the way here, and I'm going to pull a name, and the lucky winner is Carol. Now Carol Carol is great. She's a good friend of mine. She lives in Washington State and she loves crafting. So she's been creating a lot of projects. So her name does appear in here quite often, not just because she's my friend, but because she actually plays along and creates some wonderful projects. So Carol, congratulations. I'll pop these in the mail for you. Okay, so that is that out of the way. And let's get started with the project. So let me set aside the catalogs. Now, if you want one of these catalogs, let me know. You can send me a private message or you can email me, erica@ericaedney.com, and I can get a catalog to you. Okay, let's get started. So the first free item to show you is a new stamp set called A Touch of Ink. This is fabulous. It's got a hummingbird and it's a two-step stamping. So you have the hummingbird outline and then you have a fill. So you can fill this in with any color that you want. You've got a set of leaves with some fill for the leaves. You've got this cute little flower, again with fill. This looks like a freesia flower. And then of course you've got this lovely butterfly with the fill and a couple of other little leaf items here, and some really nice simple greetings. Best wishes, thank you so much, hope, thinking of you, love, hello friend. Now when you look at the stamps that you think, well, these are tiny images, but then you open it up and they are much larger than displayed on the cover. So they're substantial images. Okay, so look, here's the size of the butterfly is pretty big, and that hummingbird is pretty good, and so are the leaves. So yeah, so don't let the picture deceive you. The images are much larger. Okay, so again, my card sketches is always an on the fly. I haven't yet made this card up. I've cut some of the cardstock and then I have to decide what I want to do with this. Now you can follow the sketch exactly and do the exact measurements, or as you're working on it, then you can change things around. That's what I love about sketches. It starts you off with an idea and it gives you some of the measurements, and then you can do something different or add to it or subtract from it, whatever you want. But sometimes people, if you give them a sheet of cardstock with some ink and stamps and they go, well, you know, what am I going to do with this? So I think a card sketch is a fantastic way to start this, okay, to start your project. All right, so I'm starting with a Whisper White thick, this is our thick Whisper White cardstock. And this is going to be folded in half. So I'm going to just pull out my small scoring board here, and I'm going to score this at 5.5. So I'm going to make a tent fold, a portrait tent fold card. So you can start off with any style base that you want. You can do a tent fold, or you can do a regular fold card. Okay. So let me just burnish this edge to make sure my card lies nice and flat. All right, so this is a portrait style tent fold because it opens like this, or you can turn it and make it landscape and then it would open like this, okay? Or you could do a regular one where the fold is on this side and opens this way, or you can then turn it landscape and it opens this way, okay? So 4 styles of cards is what you can do depending on how you cut it to start with. Okay, all right, so here we have my card base, Whisper White. Now I'm pulling in the second free item that you can earn, and this is a 12 by 12 paper pack called Flower and Field. So I'm going to pull out all of the papers and just flip through. You get 2 sheets of each design, and of course they are all double-sided, and they're a good weight. So if you wanted to make boxes or bags with this, it's a good weight. I was making a lot of little bags and boxes over Christmas, so it was good to have. Some of our cardstocks are a little bit thicker than, you can hear it. It's kind of thick, not as thick of cardstock, of course, but thicker. And so I'll just flip through and show you these gorgeous designs. I love that black background. It really makes the flowers pop. And this also coordinates with a stamp set in the main catalog, in the mini catalog. Okay, now wait to see this other set of papers. Look at these poppies. This will be beautiful for November. So I'll make sure I have to save that paper for November, a little bit of it anyway. And then this is what the back looks like. Some simple little painted polka dots on here. Did I show you the back of the first two? Yeah, some nice stripes. This is not cranberry. We don't have a color called cranberry. It's called, oh my gosh. It's just left me, for heaven's sakes. It's such a cherry cobbler. There we go, cherry cobbler. Oh my gosh, I hope with starting a new year off, let's hope my brain, it's been on holidays and a bit of merriment. So I've got to get it in gear again. Okay, so here's some more florals. Beautiful florals. And if you have our Daisy Lane stamp set, which is in our annual catalog, this will go beautifully with some of these papers because there's more daisies coming up. So look at that background, black with this beautiful, I think that's just jade, one of our new in colors. Okay, so if you have the Daisy Lane stamp set, that will coordinate beautifully as well. And then look at these. This is one I want to use today. Some beautiful daisies with the, I'm going to use the hummingbird stamp. And then here's the background, some beautiful leaves, gorgeous. And then check this out. This is our Midnight Muse color with just jade. These are, I've got a lot of the in colors in this paper. And look at the back, it's beautiful. And then look, check this one out. Cherry Cobbler, and I think that's Petal Pink or Blushing Bride, one of those two colors. And some stripes on the back. Absolutely gorgeous paper for free. Okay, so if you spend $60, then you can get this paper pack. Okay, so I wanted to use the daisies, I think. This, okay. And one of the coordinating greens in here is Granny Apple Green. So I'm going to pull in some Granny Apple Green. So the first thing I want to do is cut this paper. Now let me put some things away so I'm not quite so cluttered. So here we go. And I'm going to use some punches. So I need this to be 5.5 by 3 1/4. Let me just grab my paper trimmer here. Now this goes from top to bottom, 5.5. Yeah, 5.5 by 3 3/4. So 5.5. Whoa, my blade just fell out. There we go. So 5.5, and then I need 3 1/4. Okay, so that's the piece for the middle. So this is going to go right down the middle like that. Okay. And then we've got, okay, so what I wanted to do was to punch out, no, first I'm going to stamp for this centerpiece rather than use a flower. Now, because of this daisy design, you could, if you have Daisy Lane, you could use the Daisy Lane stamp set and create a beautiful layered daisy on here. But I was really excited about using this hummingbird. So now I'm just going to check something. This hummingbird is quite a bit bigger than that circle. So I might have to do a different set of circles. So we have our circles framelits here. Let me just pull these out. So rather than use my punches, I may need a bigger circle. Yes, this will be perfect. Okay, so we'll use this circle. So I'm going to ink my hummingbird. We just filled our hummingbird feeders yesterday. Oh, let's get my silicone mat out to stamp on top of. You need some sponginess underneath these photopolymer stamps. And let's stamp him here. and let the ink soak into the paper to get a nice crisp image. Okay, now let's do, I want to pop it up with maybe some cherry cobbler for the bird. I'm not exactly doing it like the birds, the real birds, because it's kind of abstract art, I'm thinking. But I'm going to fill this in with some cherry cobbler, just to give it a pop of color on top of that black. Now, when I do 2-time stamping, I like to hover over the image and try and get it as lined up as best I can. So I'm checking his head, the tip of the wings, and his tail. And did I get that stamp on the right way? Yes, I did. You have to watch which side of the stamp. Okay, so I think this is very abstract. I'm thinking that this image is going to, sorry if my head's in the way. Okay, let's see how I did here. I haven't used this set before, so, oh, that's not bad. So you see, it's meant to be abstract. I don't think it's going to completely fill in with the lines, okay? So you can do whatever you want. You could even color the image with some blends or some watercolor pencils rather than fill it all in with this piece here. So that's totally up to you. You have to play with it, okay? So I'm going to go and cut this out on my Big Shot. And then I'm going to take the coordinating, so I color mark mine, so blue. I need the blue scallop circle, and I'm going to cut that out in the green and layer this together on here. So let me go do those two things at the same time. Okay. Okay, now your other option is we could have cut out this hummingbird and mounted him. Lots of different things that you can do. Let's pull in my card sketch so I know what I'm doing. All right, so I'm going to first glue this on to the center of the card. So I'm just going to use my Tombow glue so that I can move it around a bit as I glue it. When you're using your Tombow glue, do not put glue too close to the edges, otherwise it'll ooze out. And I think I'm going to turn this sideways just so that I can get my sides even as best I can from top to bottom. Okay, so there's that piece there, because it overhangs just a tiny bit. So I'm going to take out my little mini trimmer here, and I think I'm just going to trim that a tiny bit. There we go. Love that mini trimmer, and that was available if you joined Stampin' Up. But we have a new promotion going on for January. So if you're interested in becoming a demonstrator, and you don't have to do what I do, absolutely not. We have a lot of people who join Stampin' Up just for the discount. just to be able to get a wonderful 20% discount on all of their Stampin' Up! Products. And so we have another promotion that will start in January. So if you're interested in joining my team and becoming a demonstrator, then I would very much welcome you. Now, I think I'm going to add a few little leaves on here with this other, this stamp here, just to fill in a bit of the background. It's a bit too stark. So let me pull out another block here. Okay, and I will do the Granny Apple Green. So let me pull out that ink here. I am surprised nobody's joining me this morning live. A lot of people have gone back to work, of course. The holidays are over. I don't need to ink up the whole thing. I'm just going to ink up part of it here. Oh, and let me get a piece of scrap paper so that I don't get ink all over my silicone mat. So I just want to fill in the background a little bit, just so it's not so stark. I think this will look much better. If you are new to my channel and you have joined my VIP Crafters group, then welcome. I live in Victoria, British Columbia, and it's raining again today. So there we have our lovely leaves. Now I want to show you a little bit of a watercoloring thing. So I've got some ink that I took from my re-inker. These new pads, you can squeeze them and put some ink on the inside of the lid, or I just usually use the re-inker. It's a lot easier. And then we have what are called these blender pens. So you get a pack of 2. They're in the annual catalog. You get a pack of 3, and they're double-ended, and it's just a clear solution inside. And so what you can do with these is, to clean them after you've applied color, you just have to rub them on your paper until they're clear again. You see, so this is clear. And what you do is you're going to pick up a bit of the color, okay, and then you're just going to paint like you would normally. Now, the one thing with this is I wouldn't go over the same spot multiple times, because eventually it will pill the paper, because this is not watercolor paper. This is our Whisper White, which does color beautifully, by the way. Okay, so these are called blender pens. These are different than what are called our blends. They look like this, which are our alcohol markers, okay? These come in a pair of 2, a light and a dark, of nearly every color that Stampin' Up! Carries. And those are different. They're another coloring tool that you can add to your collection. But I love these blender pens because they do look like watercoloring. And you don't have to mess with water. Okay, and they give you some really nice shading in here. We have lots of different coloring tools. We have aqua painters. That's a paintbrush that holds water in the tube. We have our watercolor pencils. Those are fun too. You color with them, and then you can add your water brush, or the blender pen works great, this pen here. We have our alcohol blends. We do sponging. And we just got these brand new sponge brushes. Let me see if I can pull those out for you to show you. They come in a pack of 3. These are brand new in the mini catalog. We're very excited about these. They're called blending brushes. There's 3 in a pack, like I said. And you never wash these. You just rub this. You rub this on a scrap piece of paper just to clean it. Okay, they will stain, but they don't affect the coloring. Okay. All right, so I think I've done some coloring. That looks nice, eh? Don't you think? With a bit of greenery in the background. And then I'm going to mount it on top of this green piece. Of course, this could have been a different color. Maybe this should have been a cherry cobbler. Or it could have been the yellow. Maybe I should pull out the yellow. That's called Bumblebee, this yellow. I think the green is okay. We'll just go with the green. Okay, now where's my sketch again? All right, so we've got our focal point here, and I might add some Wink of Stella, and I'm going to pop this up on Dimensionals, I think. So let me pull those out. And we'll put these on. My goodness, it is just pouring outside. It's been raining a lot lately. We have a crawl space, unfinished basement, I guess. And it's insulated to a certain point, but it's not a livable space because you have to get to it through our hall closet. Oh, I didn't do that right. I was going to put Dimensionals on this piece. Well, that was silly. But we'll dimensional the whole thing up. Anyway, so because of this crawl space, we have to have a sump pump down there just to drain out some of the water that collects, because it's just a sandy, it's got a sand floor. Okay, let's just glue this on top. So every now and then the sump pump comes on. I don't think you hear it in my video, thank goodness. Okay, that's coming along. Now, there's a little strip here. Now, these Sunday sketches I found on Pinterest, and I don't know that this is meant to be an added embellishment or if it's just their way of putting their number of the sketch on there. But, you know, you could add anything on here. You could add a button. You could add a punched item on here. I'm going to actually do my greeting here, and I'm going to punch it out with a circle. Okay, this piece here, it could be a piece of cardstock. It could be a piece of ribbon. It could be a piece of cardstock that you run through an embossing folder. There's all different kinds of things that you can do. Okay, so first let's get out my Wink of Stella before I forget that. Wink of Stella is a fabulous coloring tool. It's a clear, very light glimmer to it. It's not like Dazzling Diamonds that we used to carry. It's just a very light shimmer. So if you don't like a lot of bling, this is perfect. It just gives you a little bit of bling. And it really catches the light. Okay, so I'm just going to add a bit of Wink on him or her. Okay, now what to do next? Okay, let's pull out, I think I put my greeting on here. I'm going to do this, I think it says hello friend. I love the greetings in here because they're nice and tiny, so they will work well on, let's pull out my Whisper White scrap here. And I might punch this out with, where's my black ink? With a circle punch. Hello friend. There we go. And let's Yeah, let's get a small punch out. Now I've got a 1-inch punch here. This is from years ago when we offered this small punch. So I'm going to punch that out. And I have a 1 1/4 inch punch. This is where I might pull in some of this cherry cobbler maybe. Hang on just a sec. Let's get a bit of cherry cobbler in here maybe. One and a quarter, right. Okay, and let's pop that. This one I will do the right way. Not that there's a right and a wrong way, but I think I want to pop up that on top of this little circle. Hello, friend. Okay, now the strip, I could do ribbon, which might be nice. So we have this beautiful ribbon here. This comes in ivory and white, and the white is lined with silver, and the ivory, or what we call very vanilla, is lined with gold. This is a brand new one because I ran out. Okay, so those are beautiful. They're really basic ribbon. And the fantastic thing about this ribbon, maybe I'll do that, is that you can color the ribbon with our blends. Oh my gosh, this is so fantastic. So let me just pull, I might do a nice yellow on here. Okay, let's do, that one's too dark. Let's do this So Saffron color. Okay, so there's a light and a dark. All of our blends come in a light and a dark, and we have a fine tip, what we call a bullet nib, and then we have sort of what I call a painting, sort of like a brush tip. Okay, so it comes in. So you use the brush tip to color the ribbon. Now make sure you protect the surface underneath when you do the ribbon. And I might just do 2 small pieces of ribbon on here. So let's do this. Yeah, so you can just brush this over, and you can go over it multiple times and it'll get darker and darker. And you don't have to do both sides. It's going to saturate the ribbon, and you might want to just set it aside to allow it to dry. Okay. They're a little bit stinky when you use it like that. Normally when you're coloring you don't really smell it, but when you're saturating a ribbon you do. And I'm just going to do a flagged end here. And I might do so now that I've done that, I don't know, I don't really like that on this card for whatever reason. Yeah, I don't know why. It just doesn't work for me. So that's okay. I'm going to try something else. I'm going to bring out, when you cut your cardstock, you end up with lots of these strips. So I keep them in my drawer to my side here. Yeah, so I'm going to snip this off. I'm going to use my smaller scissors here. And I'm going to flag the end. Now, if you've never flagged before, you just go up the middle, and then you come in from each side to the middle. And that gives you a nice little flagged end. Okay? Pretty simple. And so what I might do with this is, let me think, there was another cute little leaf in here, was there not? Yes, there was a cute little leaf in here. Here it is. I might just, let's see. I might just use this little leaf. So let me get a small leaf here. I was just scrolling to see if I had any comments, but I think everybody's back to work or they're taking down their Christmas decorations. My goodness. We did all of ours over the weekend, so our house is back to normal now. So I think what I'm going to do for this is I'm just going to do some random, and I'm going to do stamp on and off just to get some different patterns here in color. When you stamp on and off, it gives you a variance in color, you see? That's kind of cool. Yeah, I think maybe I like that a little bit better. I'd like the flag to show up right there. I'd like the flag then to show on the black. And I'll do hello friend right there. Yeah, I think I'm happier with that. Even though I showed you how to color ribbon, it didn't work on this project, and that's okay. Now, what I do with things like this, when I make something and it doesn't work on my project, I throw it into this bowl. I have a bowl up here on my left side of my desk here, up on a shelf. And I throw these little bits. So I may have stamped a greeting, decided didn't like it. I may have punched out a circle, decided not to use it. I may have, you know, trimmed a bit of glimmer, didn't like it. So I throw it in a bowl. And every now and then I like to pull the bowl down, pull out some elements, and then design a card. That's a lot of fun too. All right, so let's glue this on here. Oh, and I'm going to show you another cute little tip. Take your bone folder, and you can curl your ribbon. So I'm going to curl it this way first, and then I'm going to curl the end up. Okay, just to give it a bit of dimension. And to hold, make sure it stays up, you can throw a dimensional here in the middle. You could even double that up if you wanted to. Let me just get a bit of glue here. I'll put a bit of glue here. Okay, and I might do a bit of glue here. Okay, and then I'm going to stick this on like so. And then I'm going to glue this on. Hello, friend. Isn't that sweet? And I think I'm going to add a little embellishment on here, just because I can. I'm a big embellishment person. Now I think, yeah, I think these are still available in our annual catalog, or these might have been a carryover from last year. I apologize. It's very difficult sometimes to keep everything in my head as to what's current. I'm pretty sure this is still somewhere. But you could use any kind of little embellishment that you want. You could do a little rhinestone or a little pearl, sequin. Okay, so there is our card sketch. And there is our card using 2 new free products. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm sad nobody joined me, but that's okay. You can watch it on the replay, and I will also post it to YouTube. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I will be back in the same place next Monday for another card sketch. So go and have a great day and a great week. Thanks, everyone. Bye for now.